Welcome to our deep dive into the world of aspirin. It's that familiar friend in our medicine cabinets, always there for a headache or a fever. But, there's a lot more to this little white pill than meets the eye. You might be surprised by how aspirin actually works in the body, where it came from, and the potential it holds.
What's fascinating is how aspirin interacts with our body on like a molecular level. It all comes down to its ability to block the production of certain chemicals called prostaglandins and thromboxanes.
Prostaglandins and thromboxanes. Tell me more. I'm picturing tiny messengers zipping around in our bodies.
That's a great analogy. These chemicals act as messengers involved in various processes, like pain, inflammation, and blood clotting. Imagine them sending out signals that say, hey, something hurts here, or we need to form a clot over here.
So aspirin intercepts those messages.
Exactly. Aspirin targets an enzyme called cyclooxygenase, or COX, which is essential for making those messenger chemicals. Think of COX as like a factory producing those messages, and aspirin comes along and shuts it down.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. It's not just masking the pain, it's actually stopping the pain signal from even being sent. So it's like cutting the phone line instead of just ignoring the call.
That's a great way to put it. And here's where it gets really interesting. Aspirin permanently deactivates COX. It's not a temporary block. It's like flipping a switch that can't be turned back on.
So that's why aspirin can have such long-lasting effects.
Precisely. This irreversible inhibition is key to its ability to prevent blood clots, which is why doctors often prescribe aspirin to people at risk of heart attacks and strokes.
Right, you hear a lot about people taking a baby aspirin every day for heart health.
Exactly. A low dose of aspirin can be very effective for many people in preventing those serious cardiovascular issues.
It's amazing how something so common can be so powerful on a cellular level.
Mm.
But I know aspirin's story goes way back, long before modern medicine, right?
You're absolutely right. Aspirin has a long and fascinating history. It all started with willow bark.
Willow bark,
Mm.
like the trees.
That's right. Thousands of years ago, people discovered that willow bark had incredible pain-relieving and fever-reducing properties. They didn't know the science behind it at the time, but they knew it worked.
It's amazing to think about those ancient healers using natural remedies to ease their suffering. They were really onto something.
It truly is remarkable. Imagine them chewing on willow bark to soothe aches and pains. Fast forward to the 19th century, and scientists finally isolated the active ingredient in willow bark salicylic acid. It was a huge step forward in understanding how it actually worked.
But wasn't pure salicylic acid pretty harsh on the stomach?
Yes, it could cause quite a bit of irritation. So chemists went to work trying to find a way to make it gentler on the body. And in 1897, a modified version was created. Acetyl salicylic acid. That's what we know as aspirin today.
That's a great example of how science can improve upon nature's solutions. It's not just about discovering what works, but finding ways to make it work even better. But I'm guessing the story doesn't end there, does it?
Not at all. Aspirin has been the subject of countless studies, and we're still uncovering new potential applications.
Like the research into aspirin's possible role in preventing certain types of cancer. That's really captured my attention.
It's an exciting area of research, and the findings so far are quite promising. Some studies suggest that aspirin may play a role in preventing certain cancers, especially colorectal cancer.
So a common painkiller might actually help fight cancer. That's incredible. Can you tell me more about how that works?
It seems that aspirin's ability to inhibit the COX enzyme is a key player here. By blocking COX, aspirin might be interfering with the processes that can contribute to the development of cancer.
So it's not directly attacking the cancer cells, but disrupting the environment that allows them to grow. That's fascinating.
Exactly, and there's growing evidence that aspirin might even help prevent the spread of cancer cells to other parts of the body, a process known as metastasis.
Wow, that's a game changer. So aspirin could be a multi-tool in the fight against cancer. But you mentioned this is still an active area of research, right?
Absolutely. While the findings so far are encouraging, we still need more research to confirm aspirin's role in cancer prevention and to determine the optimal doses and duration of use.
It makes you wonder what other secrets this little pill might hold. It's truly a testament to the power of scientific inquiry and the importance of continuing to explore the potential of even the most familiar medications. It's incredible to think that a medication we've relied on for so long could hold such potential in the fight against cancer. But you've also mentioned that aspirin isn't without its risks. What are some things we should be aware of?
That's a great point. While aspirin offers numerous benefits, it's important to be aware of its potential downsides. One of the most well-known side effects is stomach irritation.
Yeah, that's something I've heard about. I imagine it has something to do with how aspirin affects those messenger chemicals we talked about earlier.
You're on the right track. Remember how aspirin blocks COX enzymes? Well, those enzymes play a role in protecting the stomach lining. When aspirin inhibits COX, it can make the stomach more vulnerable to irritation and even ulcers.
So taking aspirin could be a bit of a trade-off. Pain relief on one hand, potential stomach issues on the other.
In a way, yes. It's crucial to weigh the benefits and risks and talk to your doctor to determine if aspirin is right for you. They can help assess your individual risk factors and guide you in making informed decisions.
Makes sense. It's a good reminder that even over-the-counter medications should be taken seriously and discussed with a healthcare professional. Are there other potential downsides we haven't touched on yet?
Yes, aspirin's effect on blood clotting, while beneficial for preventing heart attacks, also means it can increase the risk of bleeding. If you're prone to bleeding or taking blood thinners, it's particularly important to consult your doctor before using aspirin.
So for someone with a bleeding disorder, the risks might outweigh the potential benefits.
Exactly. It's about finding the right balance based on individual circumstances.
What about interactions with other medications? Are there any potential conflicts we should be aware of?
Yes, aspirin can interact with a number of other drugs, including some common ones like ibuprofen and certain medications for diabetes and blood pressure.
So it's not as simple as just grabbing a bottle of aspirin off the shelf. There are a lot of factors to consider.
That's right. Open communication with your doctor is key. They can help you navigate those complexities and ensure you're using aspirin safely and effectively.
Speaking of individual circumstances, are there certain groups of people who should avoid aspirin altogether?
Yes, definitely. Children and teenagers, for example, should generally avoid aspirin, especially during viral illnesses.
Why is that?
There's a rare but serious condition called Ray's syndrome that's been linked to aspirin use in children. It's a good reminder that even over-the-counter medications can have serious consequences if not used correctly.
That's definitely something parents need to be aware of.
Absolutely. And of course, anyone with an aspirin allergy should avoid it entirely. Allergic reactions can range from mild skin rashes to severe life-threatening breathing problems.
So we've talked about the potential benefits and risks, but what about the idea of aspirin resistance? I've heard that term before, but I'm not exactly sure what it means.
That's a great question. Aspirin resistance means that for some individuals, aspirin doesn't work as effectively in preventing blood clots. It's like their body isn't as responsive to the drug's effects.
So even if someone is taking aspirin as prescribed, they might not be getting the full protective benefits.
That's the concern. Fortunately, there are tests available to check for aspirin resistance. If someone is found to be resistant, their doctor might consider alternative medications or adjust the aspirin dosage.
That makes sense. It highlights the importance of personalized medicine and working closely with your doctor to find the best approach for you.
Exactly. Every individual is unique, and what works well for one person might not be suitable for another. It's all about tailoring treatment plans to meet specific needs and circumstances.
You mentioned earlier that aspirin comes in different formulations. Can you explain the difference and why it matters?
Sure. You might have seen regular aspirin tablets, enteric-coated aspirin, and buffered aspirin. These variations are designed to affect how and where aspirin is absorbed in the body.
So it's not just about the dosage, it's also about how the aspirin is delivered.
That's right. For example, enteric-coated aspirin is designed to dissolve in the small intestine rather than the stomach, which can help reduce stomach irritation.
That sounds like a good option for people with sensitive stomachs.
Exactly. And buffered aspirin contains ingredients to neutralize stomach acid, further reducing the risk of irritation.
But I've also heard that enteric-coated aspirin might not be as effective for preventing heart attacks. Is there any truth to that?
It's a valid concern. Some studies have suggested that because enteric-coated aspirin takes longer to absorb it, it might not be as quick in preventing clot formation. It's a trade-off to discuss with your doctor to determine what's best for your individual needs.
So it seems like there are a lot of nuances to consider when it comes to aspirin, even though it's readily available over the counter.
Absolutely. It's crucial to be an informed patient, an advocate for your own health. Understanding the different formulations, potential risks, and individual factors can empower you to make the best decisions for your well-being.
This has been incredibly insightful. We've covered a lot of ground about aspirin, from its molecular mechanisms to its fascinating history and its potential for both good and harm. But I think the big question on everyone's mind is, should we all be taking aspirin every day?
That's a question best answered by your doctor, taking into account your personal health history, risk factors, and lifestyle. There's no one-size-fits-all answer when it comes to aspirin.
So it's not as simple as popping a daily aspirin as a preventative measure.
Exactly. It's about having an open and honest conversation with your healthcare provider to weigh the potential benefits and risks and make an informed decision that's right for you.
That's sound advice. Aspirin is a powerful tool, but it's important to use it wisely and under the guidance of a healthcare professional. We'll be back after a quick break to wrap up our deep dive into the world of aspirin with some final thoughts and key takeaways. So we've covered a lot of ground in our deep dive into the world of aspirin. It's amazing how much we've learned about this seemingly simple medication, from its ability to work on a molecular level to its potential for both healing and harm.
It's truly a testament to the complexities of the human body and the ongoing quest to understand how medicines interact with our intricate systems.
So let's bring it all together for our listeners. What are the key takeaways from our exploration of aspirin?
Well, aspirin's main power lies in its ability to inhibit the COX enzyme. This action helps reduce pain, fever, and inflammation, making it a go-to for common ailments. And it also inhibits blood clot formation, which is why it's often prescribed to people at risk for heart attacks and strokes.
But as we've discussed, that same mechanism can also increase the risk of bleeding. This highlights the importance of careful consideration and open communication with your doctor to determine if the benefits outweigh the risks for you personally.
Absolutely. Individualized care is paramount. What works well for one person might not be suitable for another. Factors like age, existing health conditions, and medications you're currently taking all play a role in determining whether aspirin therapy is appropriate and at what dosage.
We also explored the fascinating history of aspirin, tracing its roots back to ancient remedies like willow bark. It's incredible how people thousands of years ago recognized the healing power of nature and how modern science has built upon that knowledge to create the aspirin we know today.
Yeah, it speaks to the enduring human drive to alleviate suffering and to constantly seek ways to improve our well-being. And it highlights the interconnectedness of traditional wisdom and scientific discovery.
And of course, we can't forget the exciting research into aspirin's potential role in preventing certain types of cancer, particularly colorectal cancer. It's truly remarkable to think that a common painkiller could have such a profound impact on such a serious disease.
Yeah, the findings so far are certainly promising, but it's important to remember that more research is needed. Ongoing studies are working to confirm these findings, determine optimal dosages and treatment durations, and fully understand the mechanisms at play.
So while it's not a guaranteed preventative measure, the potential of aspirin in the fight against cancer is certainly an area to watch with great interest.
Absolutely. It underscores the importance of continued research and the possibility of discovering new uses for existing medications.
So where do we go from here? What would you say is the most important message our listeners should take away from our deep dive into the world of aspirin?
Well, I think the most important thing is that aspirin is a powerful medication with a long history, a fascinating present, and a future full of potential. But it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Understanding the benefits, the risks, and the individual factors involved is crucial for making informed decisions about your health.
It all comes back to that essential partnership with your healthcare provider. Open communications, honest conversations about your concerns, and a willingness to ask questions can empower you to navigate the complexities of medication and make choices that align with your overall well-being.
Exactly. And remember, even though aspirin is readily available over the counter, it's still a drug that should be used with caution and respect. Treat it as a powerful tool, not a casual quick fix.
We've learned that aspirin is much more than just a simple painkiller. It's a complex molecule with a rich history, a wide range of applications, and a future full of possibilities.
And who knows what other secrets this remarkable little pill might hold. The journey of scientific discovery continues, and with it, the potential for new understandings and applications of even the most familiar medications.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of aspirin. We hope you found it enlightening, engaging, and empowering. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your health.
Take care and stay curious.